to end in fisticuffs or slappy cuffs, whatever you call it, is not any sort of example. There's enough, there's enough digressing a bit here, but when my lad was younger, I used to take him every weekend. He played for a primary boys league. It's when he was, I don't know, 11, 12, 13, and he was a good footballer.
Right.
He was, and for years I took him, starting probably from about six until he graduated eventually at 16, 17 into the men's team.
Yeah.
But even then, a few years ago now, even then, the particularly parents, not every parent, but some parents on the touchlines, it was crazy. I don't know if you've ever been along to those games, but the way they shout abuse at the ref and anyone running the line, and also some of the managers of the teams, they really had a go at some of their young players. And I used to think, they don't need this. This is going to put people off of playing football for life.
Yeah.
But it was very, very common that this. And one week, I actually became for a while an assistant manager to a team which Paul played for.
Yeah.
And I remember the chap Dave, I won't give his full name, but he was the manager, pleasant guy, most pleasant guy. Once the game started, he got on the back of, ironically, virtually every one of our players except my boy, because I think he knew as the assistant manager, or even when I was on the touchline as a parent, I wouldn't have taken kindly to him shouting that sort of abuse to Paul. I really wouldn't, and he never did. But then again, Paul played very well, I've got to say. But you see, this is the example set that, the World Club Championship, where the men, the managers, the players are fighting each other. Okay, it's all sort of snuffed out fairly quickly, but the example to going right down to grassroots football is appalling. And it's why, it's why you don't get many referees coming through, because the abuse they suffer, even in not domestic football, but grassroots football, both youngsters and teens and going into men's games. I know because I used to play for, apart from the bank I worked for, I used to play for them. But for a friend of mine, I used to play for his team. And it got quite unsavoury sometimes, and it just puts you off. You think, well, why am I doing this? Because every week someone's punching someone or whatever. Anyway, I've gone right off at a tangent, but talking of the World Club Championship, it's okay. It's a competition. They drag teams there because of the incentive of the money, but I'm afraid I don't think they've done themselves any favours this time by enabling that kind of reaction at the end of the final. For goodness sake, it was the end of the final. So, I think football still has some way to go to kind of mature a bit.
I can understand where you're coming from. Now, Cole Palma, what do
your friend?
We love him. We love. Now, what do we make of him now? Because now, what's his name? The England manager, Thomas
Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, he has an even bigger dilemma now, because Cole Palmer really shone in that game.
He did, yeah.
He was.
We know he's a great player. He's a great player.
He's a great player. Now he's got an even bigger dilemma on his hands now, because I remember when your friend Gareth Southgate.
Well, he came from. He played for Palace, and his school. The school he went to was not 500 yards from where I live. 500 yards from where I live. So, Gareth and I go back a long way because he's a Palace player. He's a good Palace player. I used to see him sometimes at the theatre in Croydon,
All right.
where he was with his family. I used to see him there once in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, good chap is Gareth. Good chap.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Good. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad that you're friends with him again now. Right. So anyway,
Didn't go that far.
I'm glad the fallout was only temporary. Anyway, anyway, I was just going back to Cole Palmer. I just thought, what would Thomas Tuchel do now? Well, I mean, because he definitely needs Cole Palmer in that squad now. I think he does.
Mm, of
What do you
course.
make of it? Yeah,
Well, it has to be, doesn't he?
yeah.
And as I mean, as he said, he won't put him in the squad. Have I missed something there?
No. I'm just saying, well, he's got to replace someone for him. That's what I'm saying. Is he's got
Yeah,
to, yeah, he's got to take off.
he's a top player.
Yeah,
Cole Palmer is a top player. Let's face it, he came from Man City, didn't he? Where,
yeah,
I mean, you never know. Had he have stayed at the time, he was probably fourth in line for that midfield spot. So he was probably advised, and Man City probably thought, well, we'll get some money for him because he's good and he knows he's not going to progress too far here. But you wonder if he had have stayed, and
yeah,
the way Manchester City are now evolving into their new kind of team, he could
yeah,
well have had a good chance there. But yeah, I mean, anyone who comes out of Manchester City like he did is going to be a good player, and he is. He's la creme de la creme. Really, he's got the
it is.
potential. I don't think I see him as a captain, to be honest. Some midfield players you see as a very natural type of captain. He's got that personality and so on. But I think that would encumber someone like Palmer. It would maybe take something from his game. So,
Yeah,
take off the shackles, let him wander a bit. I think he's good when he wanders. He has a bit of a license to do that, like
mm,
some good midfield players. And he'll usually come up with a goal or he'll create a goal. He's just
yeah,
got that. He's got a great footballer's brain. He just
yeah.
knows where to be and when to be there. And it's not something you
Absolutely.
can teach somebody. They've either got it or they don't. It's a football
Yeah.
brain. And I think he's one of those with a first class footballer's brain.
I believe so. Because when I watched that game, well, I watched the highlights actually, because I didn't I wasn't able to catch the game. Anyway, when I watched the game, I saw I saw a different style of play. Now, that's 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 how you know a good player, if they can
Mm.
evolve and play